talking about MIDI now, and we're using the same session we were using for that Trap Pets song, super serious song. We got our global quantize up here, so this is when our clips are going to trigger inside of our session view. It has nothing to do with our arrangement view. So we've got this whole song arranged here in the arrangement view. There's nothing in here that has to do with that global quantize here. So just so you know, well, let me just go in here and duplicate, get rid of all these. Oops. I just want to clean this up a little bit. I like my tracks to be clean. There we go. All right, so that's that global quantize. It doesn't have anything to do with the arrangement view. It's only in the session view. Now, when we're recording MIDI clips, if we're recording into the session view, sorry, it doesn't have anything to do with the arrangement view. It's only in the session view. That's what I meant to say, if I didn't say that. Record quantize. I like to keep record quantize on in the beginning. You don't have to. Some people do, some people don't. I like to turn it on, but just a note, if you're doing music that's like faster than 130 BPMs, like if you're doing trap or something like that, then you want to have your global quantize, your record quantize rather, set to eighth notes. And what this is doing is it's recording anything you play in, it's going to just quantize it right there. If you have it set to 16th notes, it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of, for the quantizing to be off. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into this, sorry, we're going to go into, I keep hitting the wrong, there we go, this break. And we're going to grab a sound to stick in there. So I'm going to make a new MIDI track, which is Command-Shift-T. And in here, we're going to, let me turn that off, there you go. Let's grab a sound that goes in here pretty well. Now I'm going to open up my browser in my arrangement window. It doesn't matter which window you're in, you can have the browser open no matter what's going on in here. It's actually its own separate little space, but for me it feels like you're changing everything up, but you're not really. And I'm going to go into my plugins and let's grab Pigments. Actually, let's grab Massive X and throw it on here. Massive X has some good kind of weird soundscapey sounds, which I was thinking about maybe doing Spectrasonic's Omnisphere 2 that has great kind of atmospheric sounds, but I like to play with Massive X right now just because it's new for me. So let's go in here and let's go to Soundscapes and let's click on one of these and just check out what it sounds like. Yeah. So this one is cool sounding, but the pitch is so far off, I can't, it's not the right pitch for what my guitar. There we go. So this one's better. Kitties. All right, so that's not a bad little line there. I'm going to go ahead and record that in. Now, I have a couple places I could record that in. Turn off my draw mode here. First of all, I'm going to make sure I'm not in automation mode, which wouldn't really matter too much if you were, but I'm going to record it into my arrangement view here. I could also record it into my session view over here. We're going to record some other stuff into the session view later. But the reason why I'm recording this into my arrangement view is because it's more like a line that kind of continues throughout the song. It's not like a looping thing. It's like a line that kind of goes. So I'm going to hit F9, just like I did for my audio. Hurry, little dog, put your paws up. Kitties like to think they're cool. Awesome. So I made a couple of notes in there that I'm not too sure of, so I can just double click on here and it opens up my view down here, and I'm just going to change these up Let's see what this sounds like. Yeah, get rid of that one, move this one over here. I can use my arrow keys to move these around. There we go, like that. Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs that are also furry, but they don't drool. Awesome, so we got that there. Now, let's call this one pad lead. And I'm just going to copy the name from pad lead over here on the track to bring it over here to this one here. Whoops. There we go. There we go. Cool. And what I can do now, and this is something you can do in any DAW, it doesn't matter if you're in Ableton Live or Logic, Pro Tools, FL Studio, whatever. I'm going to duplicate this out. Command D to duplicate. And I'm going to mute this one. I'm going to just solo this out here. And let's go ahead and choose a different sound to kind of go underneath it. Let's choose, let's see here, let's see what this sounds like here. All future. Wait, I need to get into my pads. I'm like, why these are not sound like pads? There we go. Synth pad, here we go. Let's just do some synth pads here. Yeah, let's try that one there to kind of fit underneath it. And these ones here, I'm going to use legato on them. So over here, where it says notes down here in the section here where we're talking about our clips, I can click on, if I deselect everything, so Ableton Live does this weird thing where if you deselect it, it's going to apply it to all the things in your clips view down here. So if I hit Command A, it's the same thing as just deselecting it and hitting legato. And it's like going to make everything legato down here. So let me just go ahead and try this. Yep, cool. So let's try that again. Sweet. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just adjusting the lengths of these. And adjusting the lengths of these really depends on what instrument I'm using, what sound I'm using, to see like what it actually sounds like. I'm actually listening to the sound and then I'm making the adjustments as I go based on what I want it to sound like, what I don't want it to sound like. So in here, I got this, and I'm going to go ahead and let's put a filter on this one here, and I'm going to use an external filter. And I do this a lot, where I'll use an external filter that's not part of the sound itself, just because I'm actually controlling the sound that I'm hearing and not what's feeding it, like if there's any effects or stuff like that. So yeah, that's a little bit better. Put an EQ on here. So I can just get rid of some of these mid frequencies here, because there's a lot of these mid frequencies going on. I actually want to use Pro Q3 for this instead of my EQ8, and the reason why I'm using this one is because I can kind of get this wider to affect all these frequencies in here. I don't want to turn them down that much, just a little bit, a couple dB. There we go. Nice. Cool, maybe turn this back up again. Oh yeah, Pro Q3 is great. Cool, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send all these, both of these pads into a new effect down here in the bottom. I just hit Command Option T. Command Option T will make a new return track for you. I got a new return track down here on the bottom of my screen. And then down here, I'm going to put a reverb in here. Let's use, I saw somebody the other day using Valhalla, so let's use Valhalla. Valhalla is a great reverb. It costs 50 bucks for any one of these. They've got a room, they've got a vintage verb, they've got a whole bunch of different things. So let's use this one here. Let's use let's grab a preset here. And let's use Sanctuary. Let's use Lots of Space. Let's see what that sounds like. Both of these, going to send over to that one. Here I can send it up. I can turn it up how much it's going to it.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine.
Awesome, sounds good. I'm going to change the color on this pad to be more of a kind of a purpley color. I like that. Boom and boom. There we go. Sweet. So we got our pad sounds in there. Now let's go ahead and make a let's see if we can make a synth line for our hook here, our chorus. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the vocals off. Don't really want these up. And we're going to make a new sound in here. We're going to call this one chorus send lead. And that's Command Shift T to make a MIDI track. Command T is to make a regular audio track, and Command Shift T is to make a new MIDI track. One thing you'll notice when I'm making new tracks in here is that Ableton Live doesn't care about mono or stereo. It doesn't pull up any new thing for you. It just makes a track. Ableton Live doesn't care about mono or stereo. So if you put a mono file on a track, it's going to be mono. If you put a stereo file on a track, it's going to be stereo. There's no way to choose mono or stereo with Ableton Live, which makes things a lot easier when you're doing stuff. It also makes things a little bit more confusing if you start with Ableton Live and then you go to something like Pro Tools. All right, so we got our chorus and lead. Let's go ahead and use for this, let's use, what do we got in here? Let's use massive, yeah. No, let's use Pigments. Or actually, if we want like kind of a lead type of sound, a good one to use would be Serum. P-Q-R-S, sorry, spelling, there we go, Serum. Serum's a good one for this kind of stuff, lead sounds. I don't really use Serum that much because I don't really make a whole lot of like really big, abrasive synth things, but let's see what that sounds like in there. And I'll probably change the sound up once we get in there. So what I'm going to do here is instead of recording in this view here, I'm going to record it over here in this one. And we're just going to go over here to the right. And I'm going to hide my return tracks because I don't need to see those. And now in here, I'm going to hit play. I'm just going to listen to it a little bit. Let's hit record. Okay, so we got some ideas in there, some little things to kind of mess with. And I'm not sure if there's anything that I love, but we can maybe chop it up and see what happens. So first of all, I'm just going to go through and any kind of like doubled up notes, I'm going to get rid of those. Okay, so this one's kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab that one right there. And what I'm doing is you can see that my clip is looped over here on the left-hand side. And so I just grab the loop points up top. See this like kind of the bar across the top? That's my loop. And I grab, there it is, bar 7 dual notes on a mono oscillator. Here, let's check this out real quick. Cool, so that's one loop. I like that loop, okay? And I'm just gonna make a copy of this, holding down Option, drag it over, and now this one here, check this out. I can click on it and move it around the sample, or around the clip, to see what else we got. And now I can go back and forth. And I can just go back and forth between those and try them out. And I can also go over here and drag another one down and just see what else we've got over here in some of these other places. Let's just see what this sounds like. That's not bad. And then this one here. Okay, yeah, that's like the same as the other one. So we got this one here, we got this one. My arrow keys on this keyboard do not seem to work anymore. Oh, that's annoying. Oh well, whatever. So this one here, or at least they work sometimes. That's weird. All right, so we got 1, 2, and 3 here, and let's go back and check out our different like serum. Some different serum patches. Bar 7 dual notes on a mono oscillator. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. That's kind of cool sounding. Let's pitch it up an octave and see what happens. Now, we're not really going to talk about these things too much. We're going to talk a little bit about it, but over here on my left-hand side, you can see I've got an area called MIDI effects, and these are effects that you can put on MIDI notes. And one thing that they're really good for is just pitching things around. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to double-click on that, and since I've got the track selected already, my track is already selected here. It's just going to drop it down in here, and I can use this to pitch things up by incremental parts with the arrow keys, which are working now for some reason. But I can also put them up and down by octaves. So if I hit play, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, what I can do is I can play these in like we recorded stuff in before, but I'm only going to record it into this one track right here. So I'm going to turn off my record button on that track, and I'm going to hit the record button up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing it. I'm going to push play on these when I want them to play, and it's going to record it into my arrangement view. Cool, and we got that there. So you see it just recorded the stuff into my arrangement view. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it back to my arrangement view. So it's going to, like what I'm seeing here is what it's going to actually play. You'll see that right now it's actually grayed out. So that means that it's not going to play this. It's going to play whatever is playing on this side here, which is nothing. So I'm going to hit the button here, and now it's going to play this one here. Let's go ahead and drag that back a little bit. And I'm going to also just stop it right there. And I'm going to edit this one here. So this note is short, and to match what I played over here on this one. And same thing with this one here. I want that note to be super short as well. Cool. Now, one thing I want to bring your attention to, and this is something that's kind of similar to FL Studio. It's very different from Logic or Pro Tools. Ableton Live deals in clips that are looped out, and when you loop out a clip, it's everything you change in that clip is going to be changed throughout all those loops. Let me just show you what I mean here. This is a clip here, this is another clip here, and this is another clip here. It doesn't have anything to do with the names of the clips. It has to do with the clip itself. Yeah, absolutely, Black Book. Yeah, MIDI. This is one of the things I have a love-hate relationship with MIDI. I love it because you can do a lot of things with it, but I also hate it because there's a lot of things that you can do with audio that you can't do with MIDI. So I tend to make things into audio as soon as possible when I'm working on tracks. But in the beginning part, this part here, I'm still working in MIDI and I keep it in MIDI. But like, let's say I wanted to take this one here and make this note here shorter. If you look up in my screen up here, you can see that note is adjusting for everything. It's adjusting for all those iterations of that loop. And same thing, if I click on this one, you'll see the bottom part down here changes, but it's actually adjusting it for those two iterations. Wherever you cut it, right here is where it's going to stop adjusting. So if I wanted it to adjust it for everything, for just the last one and not all of these here, I'd cut the last one out and make an adjustment on just that last one. You'll notice the last one, the last note of all those other clips or loops is not moving. So here, let's listen to this. Cool, that sounds good. And let's make an adjustment on this last one right here. So I have to go up here and cut it. And now let's make it a little bit longer. Yep, cool. So let's... Sweet. Now, one thing I should point out is that the only reason why the length of these notes actually matters in here is because of the sound itself. This stuff is all really determined by what sound you're using. And there are literally millions of sounds that you could use. So you really have to understand about like how your synths are working and stuff like that, which is something we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks. We're going to talk about synthesis and things like that. But don't, like, if you have like a bell sound or some kind of like a marimba sound, it wouldn't really matter what we're doing with the links here. Let me just show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab a marimba sound. Let's I'm not even sure where I would have good marimba sound, so we'll just use a marimba sound from marimba. Hold on, let's go in here. Mallets, there we go. Yep, so here, if I use this bright marimba sound, I throw this on here, it's going to replace my... You notice that it doesn't matter. I'm going to move that up a note. Let's see what that sounds like with everything real quick. Yep, cool, I like that. Now you'll notice that I have to do this for anything I want to change this on, I have to do it on all of them. If I wanted to, I can actually highlight all these together at once and it will make that change on a bunch of them at the same time. And I've already made the change on this one here, so I just go in here. And have I already made the change? Oh, okay, not this one though. I'll just highlight that and move that up here. And I can see everything at the same time if you highlight all of them. I can also see these all different ones here. Let's call this one mallet lead. And let's change the color of this to a slightly different. Here, let's change this one to this purple color over here. It's kind of, yeah. This one here will be a slightly different purple color. There we go. So now if I go down in here and I highlight all of them, oops, I highlight all of them, we can see down here, I can actually flip back and forth to which ones I'm selecting by clicking on this part up here, across the top here. So you can actually flip around in your different clips that you have selected. Awesome. Let's turn these all back on so we can hear our vocal. Let's just hear what that chorus sounds like.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up.
Cool. And I just want to grab these and drag them over here. Now, what I can also do with these, just like you can do with audio, I can join these together with, remember in Pro Tools we have consolidate? Well, here in Ableton Live we've got join, which is the same thing. Just hit Command J, similar to Logic. Highlight what you want to join together and hit Command J. If you highlight some silence here, at the end you can see it actually added in that silence. If I wanted to just make a blank MIDI track, I just highlight it and hit Command J. Oh wait, it won't let you do that. Oh, okay, it won't let you do this. So you can do that in Pro Tools. You can't do it here, I guess. So I'm just going to copy and paste these over, put these in here, boom, like that, and now we're good to go.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up. Yeah.
Okay, so I just realized the choruses are the same, and after the cat verse, we can't say I like furry little dogs, right? We have to say I like furry little cats. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick recording in here of this. Hey, 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 hey. Cool. Where is it?
I like furry little dogs.
Okay, so let's see if we can punch this in. I'm not great at punching stuff in, but let's just see if I can do it.
And wake us up. I like furry little
cats.
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 Put your paws up.
Let's see how that worked.
And wake us up. I like furry little cats. Furry little cats.
Yeah, cool. Just gonna move this over, move this one here. That doesn't sound too bad. Let's move it over, do a little crossfade on it. You can crossfade the stuff just like in Pro Tools, Logic, whatever. If you think you can do it, you can probably do it. Cool. You can see I chopped the ends of these off a little bit. I'm not going to stress this too much. And I'm just going to go down here and record these a couple more times on each one of these. Turning my grid on and off with using Command 4, just in case you're wondering about that. Okay, so we're not going to be able to hear it here. I'm just gonna record over it.
This is a wake us up. I like furry little
cats.
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 Put your paws up.
Awesome. Go in here and edit this a little bit. That one, I missed it. Let's go do that one again. Cats. Awesome. And I'm just going to go in here and... Now, if I want to make it softer because it's like way too loud, I can just go down here on the bottom and just make that softer. And I'm going to go over here. Boom. And that's okay. And I just put it in slip mode, permanent slip mode there. Put some fade on it. Great. Cool. Come on. If I want to zoom in on it, I can zoom in like this, and I can use my scroll wheel to go around here, which is probably better. Yeah, great. You can see I was like hitting that record button much earlier on this one than I was on the other one. And let's do one more time. Just to get it right. And as you can see, it doesn't take long to do this. It just takes a couple minutes.
Pieces and wake us up. I like furry little
cats. Whoops, wrong finger.
Pieces and wake us up. I like furry little
cats.
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 Put your paws up.
Awesome. Okay, put the mic over there. Go in here and just zoom in again real quick. And you can see what I'm doing here. And again, if you're doing this for real, and you're not just making a song about how much you like dogs and cats, then you would definitely want to spend more time on this stuff. But as you can see, you can also just jam it out and get a halfway decent demo. And that's kind of the point, is that you want to make sure that you're not, like if you're just doing like a demo or something like that, you know, make it so it sounds good, but don't like, don't spend like, you know, especially for this, because we're just getting ideas together, right? And you know, it sounded pretty good, but it's not, you know, we don't need this to sound perfect. But of course, you know, it depends on what kind of demo you're trying to make. All right, there we go. Boom, ba-ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Okay, so let's listen to that. I think it'll sound kind of neat if it does sound like it's like cut in every time.
Pieces and wake us up. I like
Furry little cats.
furry little cats. Furry little cats. Furry little cats. Furry little cats.
Okay, it actually sounds pretty good. If I turn these down, here we have to do this, I guess, piece by piece. We can go through each one, and there's no way to grab these individually, I don't think. I think it grabs everyone between it. Yeah, it does. So you have to go in here kind of individually and just kind of grab it and turn it down. That one looks good. And I'm just eyeballing the waveform here and turning them down individually so it's not exploding on the word cat. So it'll sound a little bit more like I sang it through. And you would be surprised at how tricky you can make this stuff. I mean, this is really, you know, things get very tricky. It's all magic. It's all smoke and mirrors, really, you know. You can't hear me? Is anybody else having that problem? Anybody else can't hear me? Okay, all right. Yes, when in doubt. I'm glad. If y'all don't learn anything else from Mod 2, it's gonna be when in doubt, restart. That is the main thing to remember. When in doubt, restart. All right, so we got this here. Let's just put this. Let's play this one more time.
This isn't wake us up. I like furry little cats. Furry little cats. Furry little cats.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. I mean, you can hear how perfect this sounds. It sounds great.
This isn't wake us up. I like furry little cats. 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 Put your paws up.
Awesome. List of shortcuts for Ableton Live would be in the help menu. Maybe in the live manual. Probably. I think. Actually, I think AJ put it in the chat earlier, but we can have AJ put it up. Send me an email with it, AJ, and I'll email it out to everybody. Now, honestly, if I was going to go through all the trouble of punching in every single time I said the word dogs and changing it to cats, I would just go ahead and it's not F1. But I would just go ahead and hit. I would just go ahead and re-record the whole chorus again. I wouldn't bother to punch it in. I just wanted to show you all that. How you can punch it in like that. So you can see how easy that is to do. All right, great. So we got all this stuff here. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Doggies. Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. I like furry little dogs. Furry little dogs. Furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up.
Yeah, they are legit my students. I think a better question is, Black Book, am I legit their teacher? With the time, but hey, let's make learning fun, shall we? All right.
Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little cats. Furry little cats.
Oh, I appreciate it, Black Book. I'm laughing at this stupid song. It's so funny. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to show y'all something that's kind of a combination between MIDI and audio stuff. So we've talked about how to kind of record MIDI in and record some loops and stuff. Let me just show you one more thing. I'm going to go ahead and solo out my drums. Let's go ahead and... okay, so here's this drum line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a hi-hat line for this. Just a little thing to kind of go on the end here. So I just hit Command-Shift-T to make a new MIDI track, and we're just going to call this Enclosed Hats. And we're going to grab in here, let's grab an 808 drum kit. So I'm just going to go to my drums and just grab this 808 drum kit core here and just drag it onto the track, let go. And it will put it right here on the track. And now if I go down here, where's my sounds? Oh wait, make sure we're hitting record on this thing. Make sure it's soloed out. Okay, there's my hi-hat right there. Nice. AJ. Actually, Blackwood, you would love to trade houses with AJ because he's got a nice studio going on. All right. So let's do this. Or if you just want to trade places with me, I'll go to, would you say you're from the Netherlands, right? I love the Netherlands. I've been there many, many times. I love it over there. So I would gladly go over there. You can come hang out in New York City. All right, so we got this hi-hat here. And what we're going to do is we're going to record this hi-hat and just a little bit at the ends of some of these phrases here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this closed hi-hat so it goes into my drum group here. So I hit on the output and go, there's my drum, there it is right there. Change the color because we don't want the color to be that. And I'm going to loop my verse, and you can see we're just listening to the drums here. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to record it into this part here. We're going to do we're going to do that there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit go. All right, cool. So let's hit go. Now, what you'll notice is it didn't record my 16th notes. And the reason it didn't record my 16th notes is because I have my record quantization to be 16th to 8th notes. So let's change that to 16th notes, and let's do that again. Capital of EDM producers. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of them here. But there's also a lot of good house and stuff like that, too. But AJ is not. AJ only writes country tunes. All right, so we're going to go in here, hit go again. And I'm just going to record some stuff in. I'm going to hit record when it's time for me to record. There we go. And let's go ahead, and I'm going to start that in the middle here. So I'm going to grab down here, I'm going to grab my flag here, the start point. I'm going to drag it over to bar 5. Now, let's listen to this. Awesome. And that sounds pretty good, but what we're going to do here is we just want to see the hi-hats here. So we're going to go to fold. I'm going to click the fold button here. So it just shows us what the notes, whatever notes we have recorded, that's what it's going to show us there. I'm going to get rid of my envelopes here, and we're going to go in here, and I'm going to get rid of some of these notes. So I'm going to just click on this. Let's listen to it. Let's start over here. I'm going to click and delete, and I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to make it so we can put a note, another note in here. See what that sounds like. Yeah, cool. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Cool. Cool. So I got that hi-hat there, that kind of shaker sound. All right, and we're going to copy that over and paste it into here. And then I'm going to hit F10 to get that back like that. And now, oh, kazoo is where it's at, guys. Cool, all right. All right, so we got that there, and we're gonna have that come in at the second verse over here as well, boom. And that's basically how you can just record a quick little MIDI thing in here. It's like a loop, something that loops around like that. All right, so turn off the solos in here, and let's see, is that pretty much it? Let's just check our notes here, because I kind of went off notes here, but I know what it is here. So recording MIDI clips, turn on the metronome, hit the spacebar to play. You should hear the click, hit the record button in an empty clip slot to start recording a MIDI clip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna record something for y'all real quick so we have this here. After we're done with this, we'll just kind of start over a new session, just kind of start from the beginning. If a clip has a green launch button, you won't record additional notes into it. It's great for auditioning sounds. An overdub MIDI clip, hit the session record button. Absolutely, this is all good stuff in here. Regular record, quantize, regular quantize. Okay, so I need to show you all that. Quantize here, extract chains. I showed you all that yesterday, but let's talk about that again here. And then subgroup mixing, I've shown you that stuff as well. And drawing in notes. Okay, cool. So you guys are just like talking about something over there. All right, so let's go ahead and get this in here. What I want to do real quick before we kind of start over and do that, because we're going to take the very last part of class and just kind of start a new video and start recording from scratch here, so I can just show you how I build it up, not using other people's loops, is we're going to just record in a couple of transitionary things in here. You always need transitions in a song like this. So what we're going to do is we are going to use contact. I'm going to grab contact over here, and we are going to go down here in the bottom, make a new track here, and we're going to make this a riser. And we'll make another one here called impact. I'm going to make these yellow because my effects are always yellow. And I'm going to drag contact on here, and I'm going to use a plugin here called Rise and Hit. Where is it? Rise and Hit. There we go. And in here, you've just got different sounds in here that you can play around with. Let's go ahead and put this on here like this. Let's grab something from Into the Void, Lament of Infinity. And I'll play key on my keyboard. Cool. I like that sound. Nice. Cool, we're gonna turn off the... I like that, and I'm gonna turn off this one over here. Yeah, I like that sound better. So we're gonna go in here and I'm gonna record that in. Actually, I'm not gonna record it, I'm just gonna go ahead and play. I'm gonna go in here and make a new, oops, MIDI track, a MIDI clip there, which is Command-Shift-M. And this is 4 beats long. I know it's 4 beats long because if I go look at my instrument here, it's got a 4 right there, rise time is 4. Let's make it 8 beats. So it's 2 bars. The way I can open up my instruments here is like right there. You click on that little wrench thing down there, and we got this here. Let's make this a 2-bar length. Turn off the loop, make the length 2, make the end point 3. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna click, whoops, turn off my pencil tool. I'm just gonna drag it over like that. Move back to the beginning. I'm just gonna drag it all the way over. And if we hit go,
Doggies.
Awesome. Doggies. That's so funny. And I'm just going to drag it. I'm going to keep dragging it over in here. And you notice that I'm kind of, what I'm doing is I'm kind of zooming out of this one here, the one down at the bottom, and kind of dragging this one over. The way that clips work in Ableton Live is different from Logic and Pro Tools. Logic and Pro Tools, they don't really, they have clips, but the clips exist on a track and you can just make things as long as you want. It can go past the end of a clip. Ableton Live, they can't do that. Ableton Live, the clip has to be there as well. You can also make the clip longer, and that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of dragging the clip out like this over here. And then, cowbell samples. Cool. All right, so let's listen to this here. Let's see what this sounds like. I'm gonna go ahead and put a low cut on it because I don't really need all that low sounds. Just put an EQ, EQ8. There you go.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear.
All right, cool. So they got that one there, and now we're gonna get a different impact here to kind of get a little bit more impactful. Ha 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 ha. So it sounds a little bit better. I'm gonna get rid of the low end on this one too. So I'm just gonna drag all that stuff over. And on this one, that's totally fine. We're gonna go in here and we're going to click. I'm just gonna listen to some of these. These probably, yeah, those are not, I'm not super in love with all these. So we're gonna actually go back down to our, we're gonna get rid of this here. Yes, yes, don't save the changes. We're gonna go back to Rise and Hit. And we're gonna, instead of using Into the Void or Out of the Void or whatever it's called, we're gonna use Percussive and Anvil to Burst. Nope. And I can just click on these little arrows here in the middle. Yeah, that was better. Yeah, oh yeah, the Spitfire orchestral hits. Maybe I have those loaded up? Not sure. Yep. That's what I often do. I'm just trying to get something really quick right now. There we go. So we'll just use that and we'll put some more reverb on it. So I'll just go in here and I'm going to record this one in. So I'm going to hit F9.
Doggies are our best friends.
Cool. So there's that. Sounds pretty good. I'm just going to drag it over so it's a little bit further over. Drag that. Boom. Now I'm going to take both of these, and I'm going to right-click on them, and I'm going to turn them into samples. So freeze track, right-click and freeze track on the two of them at the same time, and then over here right-click and flatten. And now it makes two different tracks that have everything right there for us. Cool. I agree 100%, Black Book. I like to make my own samples, usually using hits from the song itself. And this is where the time takes. Remember, I was talking about timing. But just for right now, we're just kind of getting some stuff in there, kind of going. And let's see. Yeah, it sounds good in there, and we'll also put it in here as well. Cool.
Doggies are our best.
Cool.
Doggies are our.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. I'm going to actually stop it at bar 4 here, and I'm going to use some automation on here. We're going to talk about automation another time, like I said before. Just real quick, I'm going to go here to my audio effects and utility and drag it on here. And put the gain on here. I'm going to click on gain. So we've got a gain thing on here. I'm going to make a nice little...
Doggies are our best friends. They're
Cool.
little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this one down a little bit. I'm just going to make it so it doesn't actually stop. And let's go back into our automation here. Pull that over. And I'm going to make it softer in general by pulling down the level of the sample here.
Kitties like.
So it's just like a little hint of a riser there. So in different genres, that would be hilarious. So there's that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now what we need is we need some meow sounds and some barking sounds and things like that. Should we get those from a sample place, or should I just record some in? I'll just record some in for today, I think, instead of scrounging around for them on the internet. I know exactly where I could find them, but I mean, you can also just find them on YouTube, I guess. You can find cats meowing and dogs barking and stuff like that. Actually, let's do that. Well, is my setup? Hold on. Let's see if I've got my setup set up for that. Loop back. YouTube. Firefox. Okay, Firefox. Ableton Live 10 Suite. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's set up for that right now. I'll have to deal with it later. Let me get that set up another time. What we can do though in the meantime is the crashes and rides. Yeah, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and do this real quick as we go through the song. Here, let's just do one pass and put some crashes in. I'm not going to use rides because they actually have some rides in. They have some other crashes in there as well, but not a bad idea to put a couple in there. Here, boom. Go over here and do the drum group. Turn that down. And let's use a couple of crashes. I'm just going to make a drum kit that has a few crashes in it. So I'm just going to grab drums. I'm going to grab drum rack right there and go to my drum hits and go to my cymbals. Where are you? Cymbal right there. Boom. Drag you in and Kashmir has some animal samples? Maybe. Probably, I mean. Cymbal boring. Here, we'll just use cymbal boring. There we go. So I just made those. Where are you? Cool, there we go. So we'll go ahead and play those in. So I'll just give it a run. I'm just going to hit record and hit go. And this also gives us a chance to kind of listen to everything.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and they're furry and they got rear ends. They like to poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, pick and poo up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up. Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little cats, furry little cats, furry little cats, furry little.
Awesome. And I realized I just forgot to change this record quantization, so these are probably going to be a little bit off, but I can move them around. Make sure, I'll hit Command-Shift-U. Now, what Command-Shift-U does is it pulls up our quantization menu, and I'm going to change this to a quarter note here and hit OK. So anything that's off is going to be on, like right there on it. It's going to be right on the downbeat on the quarter note. So that's great. I'm glad you're liking it, Moises. This is, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty fun to be playing around with this as well. So it's always fun when you're learning and having a good time at the same time, right? I think so. So I got my cymbal crash cymbals in here, and all of these, I'm just gonna make them all, they should all be, yeah, they're all the 127, so yeah, cool. So I'm just checking my velocities here. You can hold down Command over a note to check the velocity on it. That sounds pretty good there. I might want to turn these up a little bit more so I can hear them better. Let's just hear what our drums sound like. So all the drums. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Cool. Yep, and I'm going to change these around here so it's the same on the... Oh yeah, no, that's right. We're good. Cool. Let's...
Furry little cats, 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 furry little...
Sweet. Now here's a cool little trick you can use if you've never done this before. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into audio by freezing and flatten it. And freeze and flatten. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this. Oops. I'm going to use this cymbal smash that's in the chorus to kind of feed into the chorus. So one thing I'm going to do with this though is I'm going to make sure I've got a good it's like cut correctly. And I'm going to go ahead. Oh wait, no, we don't want to use it on that one because that's the one that does weird stuff. We're going to go over here to this one. And I'm just going to go into it and I'm going to reverse it. And the way you reverse stuff in Ableton Live is down here in the sample area here, hit reverse, and it reverses it right there. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of the end off of it and move it over here. Yep. Reverse, and then get rid of those transients. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit too, so it's not quite as loud.
Poo everywhere, but they don't care. We walk around all day, picking poo up. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like fur.
Awesome. I think this piano part here, now I'm listening to it a few times, I'm going to put it over here to the break section here. Let's listen to what it sounds like there. Yeah.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day.
Maybe I could put it in here. Hold on, let's see if it'll fit in here. I think having it in the break gets our ear accustomed to it a little bit, so it makes sense. And let's go ahead and go to this here, and let's use, again, our utility plugin here. Put it down here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little automation on the gain here of it to pull it down in level here. Yeah, I agree. A high cut would be good.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little cats, furry little cats.
I can't stop laughing with that part there. I think what I'm going to do here is put that filter actually right here on the piano group here. That'll make that sound a little bit more interesting. And then we have to stop. We have to take time and stop, and we can come back and talk about this another time. Let me just put that filter right here, use the auto filter. And I think y'all saw today, actually, I did use a lot more plugins that come with Ableton Live than I was using yesterday. Here, let's just listen to this here. That sounds nice.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up it.
Yeah, nice. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to click on that right there. So why is that not? Oh, it's right. Okay, it's up there. So we're going to take this, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring it back to this point. So I'm going to put a click right there, and we're going to have it go up here, and I'm going to go ahead and have it so it ramps up to the end here. There we go. So now let's listen to that. Let's just hear. I'm going to solo it out so you can hear it by itself. And it's going to ramp up here so it gets nice and bright. And it's going to come back here. Hold down Option to put curves on your thing, on your automation lanes here. And I'm just putting dots in. I'm just clicking on it to put dots in wherever I want it to go. Yeah, it's a really pretty piano sound. Cool. All right, let's listen to it with everything. And you can hear it down in the bottom of the mix. It sounds really nice in there. At least it does on my headphones. Oh yeah. I'm not using the push right now.
Kitties like to think they're cool, like dogs are also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little cats, furry little cats, furry little cats, furry
Cool.
little cats, furry little cats, furry little.
Cool, and let's go ahead and put the cymbal in the middle of the chorus as well, and kind of have this little build-up cymbal here also. And yeah, because I kind of think it sounds pretty nice. We're just gonna do a little crossfade on these bad boys right there, so they sound pretty good. And we're gonna do the same thing over here. And what I'm gonna do, check this out, I'm just gonna copy and paste, boom.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs, furry little dogs.
Turn this one down a little bit. And I'm going to go in here, double click it to open it up in the sample editor down here on the bottom. Go to the clip.
Furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs, furry little dogs. I like furry little dogs.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Dogs, furry little dogs. Put your paws up.
Sweet. And so you're seeing as we go, as ideas occur to me, I kind of like implement them as they occur to me. It's not like I have everything laid out in my head right from the beginning. I'm moving things around. I'm putting things in this piano part. It's starting this verse, and it's like, you know what? It might sound good in this break. Although every time I look at this where it says BRK, I think bark. So I'm actually gonna label that out there. But you see how things are kind of moving around in here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a save as there. Cool. I think this is sounding pretty darn good. Let's just finish this up, shall we, real quick. So let's just go ahead. I'm just gonna drag this part across here. Let's see, where's my actual ending here?
Paws up. Yeah, word to your pets.
Okay, we're gonna put a fade on this because we need this to kind of come out before it wants to. Do that. I'm gonna put the word end right here so I know where it ends. And let's just listen to it one more time.
Paws up. Yeah, word to your pets.
Great. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And let's just put a little master Ableton here. We're just gonna drag this on here. I'm gonna turn this down for a second here, so I can just actually, maybe what I should do is do it over here in OBS. I'm gonna turn it down on my headphones, and you're not gonna hear it for
But they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building.
so you can hear how much it's pushing everything. I'm gonna just turn this down because it was already pretty loud just going into this, and I don't need all this right now. I'm gonna turn this all back a little bit.
Kitties like to think they're cool. Like dogs, they're also furry, but they don't drool. They sleep all day in the sunshine, building up energy so they can run around all night and jump on our faces and wake us up. I like furry little cats, 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 furry little cats. Put your paws up. Yeah.
All right, let's listen to it from here. Cool. All right, I'm gonna skip around a little bit.
Doggies are our best friends. They're little and
Sweet. All right, so I'm not pushing anything super hard right now. I've got my headphones on. I've had my headphones on the whole time, so I have no idea what this sounds like in actual speakers, and it probably sounds pretty bad in actual speakers. So this is not like a final mix at all. This is just a mix just to bounce it down. So I have a record of where we kind of ended up today. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this and hit Command-Shift-R to bounce it out. And we're gonna go over here, record the MPC. I'm also gonna record a MP3 here, PCM wave file, bounce it out with the MP3, hit export. Let's put it into the project itself. I'm gonna make a new folder called Trap Pets Bounces. And Trap Pets 03, demo. Like that, underscore master, so I know that I've actually done some mastering stuff to it. And then let it do its thing here. And when we're done with this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a new video recording just to kind of make sure we're okay with the MIDI recording and just to make sure we've gone over that from start to finish, because I've been kind of jumping around today and I just want to make sure you're understanding how to make a little MIDI thing in Ableton Live from start to finish. So let's just get this going. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording right here.